12 years ago, New York City started a new venture to give better services to its citizens, NYC 311. The venture was very well received and continued its success with the launch of a mobile application in 2009. According to 2015 data, the NYC 311 mobile application has 88,000 active users and more than 900,000 complaints. So, we wanted to look at what type of results can be inferred from this large data set. From an aggregate perspective, we can see that there are more than 3 million complaints received in 400 plus distinct topics over a period of 24 months in 2013 and 2014. Heating-related complaints, as you can observe here, takes the lion's share of all that's been shared with the city government. We can look at the same data from another angle. For example, under the subject of blocked driveway, 136,578 complaints have been made. In this chart, the x-axis shows the number of complaints and each bar represents a complaint topic. Well then, what do we see here? As you can clearly see, the first 40 topics cover 80% of the total complaints. Now that the data has started talking to us and giving us clues, let's dive in further, focusing our attention on the top 3 complaint topics. The top 3 topics make up 25% of all complaints. In other words, if we could know the reasons behind these 3 complaint types and find ways to alleviate them, we will please a significant number of the inhabitants of New York City. Now, let's get one step closer to these 3 topics. When we analyze the changes in the number of complaints on a week-to-week basis, we immediately notice that the heating-related complaints are highly seasonal, whereas street light-related complaints have more of a stationary pattern, which makes perfect sense. Such graphics can highlight which topic needs more of the city government's attention at which times of the year. Next, let's talk a little bit about how the number of complaints are influenced by population size. In this chart, each circle represents a different NYC zip code. Different colors stand for different boroughs. The x-axis shows the population size and the y-axis shows the monthly number of complaints. When we examine the graph and take an interactive look at what happens each month, it is easy to detect that each graph has a line that serves as an upper limit to the max number of complaints by population size. This upper limit pattern holds almost perfectly until we arrive in March 2014. In this month, one circle looks to be situated well above the upper limit line, which may be a cause for alarm. So what happened at zip code 11419? What transpired at 11419? Let's first compare this zip code with its closest neighbor, 11418, and 11420. In this graph, the x-axis shows the months and the y-axis represents the number of complaints. This time series graph quickly points out that between December 2013 and March 2014, zip code 11419 has experienced some problems possibly unique to this area. Then what are these problems? What caused such aggravations to the denizens of 11419? To answer this question, we will ask the data again. When we examine the distribution of complaint types from December 2013 to March 2014, we realize that there is a serious increase in the reported general construction problems. This is very likely due to the construction project that was undertaken by the city around that time. In the future, when the city government needs to engage in similar public construction projects, this complaint data can be parsed to better understand the public opinion and prevent, or at least minimize, the occurrence of discomfort to the people living nearby. Now, let's switch gears a little and investigate how population size has an impact on the likelihood of receiving a complaint. In this graph, again, each circle represents a different NYC zip code, the x-axis shows the population size, and the y-axis represents the probability of receiving a complaint by any given person within a year. When we turn our attention to the zip codes with high likelihoods of complaint, zip code 10036 stands out very clearly, with an almost 50% likelihood. Where is this point? Wine Central, if you will. It is clearly not the most populated neighborhood. We will leave that point aside for New York officials to tackle. For now, let's take care of our own city, examine its data, and listen to what it has to tell us.